most powerful speech of this demonstration, and I swear to God, one of the most powerful speeches I've heard in my life was given today, I believe, at the Minneapolis State House by civil rights attorney Nakima Levy-Pounds, Gregory Floyd's sister, Bridget Floyd, and his friend, NBA player Steven Jackson. It was cut off quickly after they started name-dropping Donald Trump in various parts of the speech. They directed all the attention to the White House and to the injustices that's been happening in America and appealing to the government, basically. If I cannot find the whole speech, I found part of it. I'm going to play it. And then, I didn't even get to see Steven Jackson's part because it was cut off by mainstream media. But that's what we're here for. This is a new age. We're going to start doing our own thing. So here's what I got.
To my white brothers, I love you. Every race here, I love you. But it comes to a point now where if you love me and you not standing on the side of me, then your love don't mean shit.
Say that. Say that. Say that. Yes.
I'm at the point now where I'm tired of being a bigger person.
That's right.
I'm tired of walking around and seeing white kids and feeling like me being having a big heart and just giving love to every race and we not getting it in return. I'm here because they're not going to demean the character of George Floyd, my twin. A lot of times when police do things that they know that's wrong, the first thing they try to do is cover it up and bring up your background to make it seem like the bullshit that they did was worthy. When was murder ever worthy? Never. But if it's a black man, it's approved. You can't tell me when that man had his knee on my brother's neck, taking his life away with his hand in his pocket, that smirk on his face didn't say I'm protected.
That's right. That's what it is.
To do that, we gonna use our platform. I'm gonna use everything I have to get a conviction, to get all these motherfuckers to jail. Excuse my French, I'm angry.
No excuse.
But I'm a proud black man.
Say that. Say that.
I mean that from the bottom of my soul. And I can say that and tell everybody here I still love you. But I'm at a point now, I don't need your love. I honestly don't need it. And want me to tell you why I don't need it? Because the love I need, it's always been here. It's always been here. We just haven't came together yet.
So this was not even televised. It was cut off by CNN when they had the breaking news when this happened.
Yes, what charge of murder?
He has been charged with third-degree murder. We are in the process of continuing to review the evidence. There may be subsequent charges later. I failed to share with you a detailed complaint will be made available to you this afternoon. I didn't want to wait any longer to share the news that he's in custody and has been charged with murder. We have charged this case as quickly as sufficient admissible evidence to charge it has been investigated and presented to us.
Mike, you were saying yesterday.
We have now been able to put together the evidence that we need. Even as late as yesterday afternoon, we didn't have all that we needed. We have now found it, and we felt a responsibility to charge this as soon as possible. Paul?
Yeah, Mike, what was the final piece?
No.
Do you now have some back from you?
Folks, I'm not going to talk specifically about this piece of evidence or that piece of evidence. You will see, and you all are veterans, I can only talk about what's in the complaint. You will see in the complaint the evidence and put it all together.
So let's look at this criminal complaint. You said it took 4 days to gather all the evidence to make the arrest. So here we are with the complaint. You can see it, I can see it, and we can see that he's full of shit. I don't see anything in here that has more evidence telling us that, that anything was different. What we do have is charged murder, third degree, Maximum sentence 25 years. He'll be doing none of that. Manslaughter, second degree, 10 years or 20,000. You see, they just put a price on Brother Floyd's head. Pretty much all this does is walk us through what happened. He tried to spend the phony 20 at the corner store. Police were called. They tried to cuff him. He was actively resisted. But, you know, you saw on camera what they mean by that. Just trying to throw a little seasoning on it pretty much because we saw, you know, he was upset. So as we come down here, says the officers made several attempts to get Mr. Floyd in the back seat of the car. And he was intentionally falling down, saying that he was not going in the car. 6 feet, weighs more than 200 pounds. While standing outside the car, Mr. Floyd began saying and repeating that he could not breathe. Now, this is the part that gets me, right? I speak English, so give it to me plain, right? While standing outside the car, he said he couldn't breathe. The defendant went to the passenger side and tried to get Mr. Floyd into the car from that side, and Lane and Kung assisted. Tried to get him into the car. Next paragraph. The defendant pulled Mr. Floyd out of the passenger side of the squad car. Well, which the fuck is it? Because you just threw me off right there. You tried to get him in the car, then you pulled him out the car. All right, so let's just keep going in this. This is not plain English, at least not to me. Maybe you seeing something different than what I'm saying. But he pulled Mr. Floyd out of the passenger side of the car. Mr. Floyd went to the ground, face down, still handcuffed. Kung held his back and leg, and Lane held his legs. The defendant placed his knee in his neck. He said, "I can't breathe. Mama, please." You guys pretty much know the rest. So now they're going to try and cover up the other officers' actions because they're basically saying that they, you know, tried to check on him. But they didn't save his life. 8:25, the video shows Mr. Floyd ceasing to breathe or speak. Lane wanted to roll him on his side. Kung checked his right wrist for a pulse and said, "I could not find one." None of the officers moved from their positions. So basically, yo, my man, he's dead. Okay. They stayed there. 8:27. 2 minutes later, the defendant removed his knee from Mr. Floyd's neck. So at 8:25, the dude told him, "Yo, this motherfucker's dead." 2 minutes later, he decided, okay, well, I'll take my knee off now. Now, here's where they start to get all shady. The autopsy revealed no physical findings. This was a fast-ass autopsy. They don't be busting out autopsies like this. Mr. Floyd had underlying health conditions, including coronary artery disease and hypertensive heart disease. The combined effects of him being restrained by the police, his underlying health conditions, and any potential intoxicants in his system likely contributed to his death. This is the smear campaign. They run into play. But check it out. I got something on the county attorney that they ain't talking about in the public sphere themselves. And let me transition to that.
Last year,
with a string of high-profile cases, Mike Freeman often explains tough decisions.
solid jury verdict.
But today he's giving reason for what's usually something private. In this statement about his recent medical leave as Hennepin County attorney, Freeman says he's been evaluated for alcohol issues, agrees that he needs treatment, and will enter a program Monday determined to reclaim his health. That decision may change Freeman's life, but experts say it could also impact others who are struggling.
Maybe now's the time. What should I do? Where could I get resources? How do I start the process?
Experts say it starts by checking if you have insurance coverage and calling your county human services office if you don't. Then, just like Freeman says he did, you need an assessment, which often gauges how much you're using a substance and how it impacts your job, hobbies, or relationships.
So you heard what the lady just said. This is the kettle calling the pot black. by his criminal complaint. Basically, he needed alcohol assessment to see if he can do his job right. Now, this, if you look at the date right here in this article, this was 1 year ago today, and this is probably why he has not charged the other 3 cops.
The Hennepin County Attorney's Office is one of the few prosecutor offices in this country in the last 5 years to successfully prosecute a police officer for murder. And we did that on behalf of Justine Damon. Okay, that's unusual. We know how to do this. We have a very veteran prosecutor group, aided by a very veteran investigator group at the BCA. On top of that, we've had great cooperation from the FBI and from United States Attorney Erica McDonald. And she may have some things to share with you soon, but she does that on her own time.
O'Brien.
Excellent resume. Able to lock up a black cop with a Muslim name. He's getting cooperation from the FBI and the United States Attorney's Office. Wonderful. Let's see what President Donald Trump has to say about this whole ordeal.
I'm here today to talk about our relationship with China. Chinese, China, Chinese, China, China, Chinese, Chinese, China, Chinese, China, 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 Chinese, Chinese, China, Chinese, China, 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 China's, China, Chinese, China, Chinese, 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 China, China, China's. In every decision, I will continue to proudly defend and protect the workers, families, and citizens of the United States of America. Thank you very much. Thank you.